First off, 8:33 p.m., large turnout tonight. Want to tell you all, first off, I appreciate you all being here tonight. It is 8:30 here on the East Coast. I'm in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. I know we have people spread well across multiple time zones in multiple states and multiple territories tonight. So from the bottom of my heart, I want to just thank you for being here and committing to this meeting. My name is Lee Elias. I am the performance coach for Priha. My job entails making sure that we are getting the best out of everybody in every position on every team in every aspect to make sure that Priha is succeeding in all of our goals, many of which we're going to go over tonight. Again, if you're just coming in the room, I'd ask you to just mute yourself. Everybody should be on mute tonight. I'm going to give you some examples of how this is going to go tonight. I'll be doing an address here for probably 20 minutes, 25 minutes. This is not going to be an insanely long call. We're going to ask you to table Q&A to the chat. Our good friend Mike Rosado will be in the chat tonight. He will answer what he can. And after the meeting, we will open up a questionnaire. So if you have any additional questions based on this meeting, we'll be happy to answer them through that. But the purpose of this meeting tonight is obviously to have a membership meeting, to have a little bit of a pep rally as we lead to Chicago. Seen a lot of new faces I haven't seen here before, a lot of ones I have seen before, and just to kind of introduce everybody here in the meeting tonight to what Priha stands for, what we're about, what we're hoping to accomplish now in the immediate future and into the future beyond tonight. So again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you for being here. Let's jump right into it. So first thing I want to start out is, what is our mission moving forward? We have this all over the place recently from the events that we've done and the games that we've been playing. Well, we want to unify all of us tonight over this mission and the understanding of this. We have a dual mission right now. Number one is to compete in the World Championships. We are part of the IIHF. The World Championships is the most prestigious international competition in ice hockey, in addition to the Olympics. So our number one goal right now, or shared goal, I should say, is to compete in the World Championships. We're going to go over some of the ways we're all going to be part of that tonight. And obviously, in addition to that, and equally as important, is to increase the footprint of hockey in Puerto Rico and of Puerto Ricans around the United States. This is the dual mission. This is the mission that everyone on this call shares, whether it is from the men and women's national team all the way down to our volunteer members, parents, grandparents, cousins, and everything in between. Every action we take is to accomplish these dual missions. And again, we all play a role in this, and we're going to go over this tonight. And you can see on the screen, from all of our athletic teams to our coaches, our managers, our volunteers at events, our executive board members, support members, parents, sibling, extended family. If you are part of Priha, you are part of this mission. And we want everyone to feel that they have a role in this mission. We want everyone to feel that they're embarking on this mission together, and empower every single one of you to feel like you're part of that. Because when we put on those jerseys, or we wear these hats, or we have that coaching uniform, we're representing something much larger than ourselves. And I wanted to share this. I've been excited to share this slide. The people that have helped me put this presentation together, I've been showing this one to them nonstop because we represent Puerto Rico. And what's awesome about that is this. You guys look at the left of the screen. If you watch the World Baseball Classic, we saw Puerto Rico compete. And I loved seeing that the logo on their jersey is the exact same logo that we wear on our jersey. We are a national program. We are a national association. And it's very important, and especially in ice hockey, for those of you who've been in hockey for a long time, that we start to break down the hockey club mentality and replace it with a national program mentality. This is a national program. And anytime we get to put that jersey on and represent this nation is an honor. And again, that jersey comes in many forms. It could be an actual jersey on the ice. It can be the hat I'm wearing. It could be the crest we wear on our hoodies and our sweatshirts and everything in between. But when we wear it, we are representing Puerto Rico. And again, I love it. The baseball team wears it and we wear it. This is about representing a nation and lifting the person up next to you. It's an honor in every sense of the word to be able to wear that jersey. And we are a small association. We're not as big as Puerto Rico baseball, but we're growing fast. And every time we wear that crest, again, no matter the role, we're representing something bigger than ourselves. We have to be an association of we over me. One of the things I like to talk about, and I've had a lot of conversations with a lot of the parents and athletes in this call tonight, is, well, my son or daughter plays at this level. Maybe some members of the team aren't at that level. And that's the beauty of an association like this. First off, we have some really talented athletes, but the ability to come onto any of our teams and lift up another person playing ice hockey with that logo on their chest, that is really the heart and the center of the association. And that's why I said at the beginning, we will lift each other up as we move forward to make sure that when we do compete in the World Championships, and we will, and we do continue to grow our footprint around Puerto Rico and America, that we're doing that together, right? And I want to say this, it's at the bottom of the screen here. Everything we do is earned. Nothing is owed. Whether that is a spot on any of the teams, whether that's a coaching position, everything we do is earned daily. It is never owed. It should never be expected. And I hope that everyone takes that challenge as seriously as I do, as our membership does, as our executive board does. Because to grow together, we have to work at this every single day. Some of the events that we're having now, some of the events we've had in the past are to prepare us for the events like the World Championships. So that when we get to that level, when we get to that position, we are flowing beautifully. And we've moved some of the tough times aside so that we can get to the good times. And this is a good time right now that we're being at. So I also wanted to go over on this meeting tonight some of the events we have moving forward and make sure I give a clear picture for everybody about what's going on. So the obvious ones you all know about are events in Chicago, which is coming up in a few weeks, our events in New York, which we're very excited about, and obviously events and planning with the IIHF for future appearances in the World Championships. We have many more in the works. We're talking with other cities, but I think it's important to understand right now that we do not at this time, because this is a question we got, have plans to participate in the LATAM Cup for the foreseeable future for a few reasons. Number one, we've graduated from that event with both our women's and men's team, our U20 team, and other teams competing for gold medals or silver medals or competing for medals. We have not yet received an invite back to that tournament. Fiesta Day Hockey is our LATAM Cup moving forward, and we hope to elevate that even more. We want to keep the focus on us and believe we can better control our destiny by doing that, by keeping things in-house, by selecting our own opponents, by understanding our own development. We believe we will elevate ourselves higher than that tournament could ever do. And that's one of the reasons we're deciding to graduate from that. Our events will also include all members, whereas we were limited in the past, many of you probably did not know that, to who we could or could not bring to some of these events. Our events will also prepare us for being an upstanding IIHF member and competitor. So every movement that we've made, that our board has made, all the effort and time that's been put in, is to make sure that PRIHA is in the best possible position to grow hockey for Puerto Rico and for us to compete in the IIHF World Championships. I wanted to share this poster. This is a lot of photos from our last event out in Orlando, because this is something as a kid I'd want to have on my wall. And for all the young youth athletes listening or watching this right now, I want you to strive to be on this poster. For the young women out there, we're going to make a poster for you as well when our women's national team has their next exhibition. But this is an image that represents, I think, everything that we're standing for at the highest levels of hockey, and it's something to strive for. And I wanted to share this with you because I think it's a beautiful image, it's beautiful photos, and it shows the level of prestigiousness that we're trying to reach. Now, this is another question we've been getting a lot. How do I make the team? How do I know what team I'm on? How do I know where I'm going to be? I want to reiterate first, we are all part of the team. The team is PRIHA. PRIHA is the team, okay? Obviously, within PRIHA, we have several other teams that we're doing. And again, if you could please mute yourselves if you just joined the call, I'd appreciate it.
Sir.
But there's a few things we have to keep in mind. The team is an evolving thing. And as I said before, everyone needs to earn the places they're going to be. And with that said, there is a place for everybody. But we do need to understand that we will continue to grow our player population. Spots are not to be expected. They are to be earned. Even if you receive a spot on a national program team, it must continue to be earned. Players will come in and earn spots. And we have players from the professional ranks that we're talking to all the way down to beginner levels. So it is a vast market out there. Market's not the right word. It's a vast player population out there. So that's my other work coming into my mind there. And we are going to continue to grow the teams. And no matter what the level, no matter what team, no matter what you're doing, it is an honor to be part of the team and not an expectation. I am going to say that a few times tonight. But the big focus here is we are all part of the team of PRIHA. And that is the focus we need to take. For those of you that have played with me, under me, or I've worked with your teams, I'm always saying team, teammates, self. That is the order in which we prioritize. In this case, it's PRIHA is the team. Then maybe the team you're on, your teammates, and then yourself. They're all important. Nothing works without all of those elements. but we have to make sure that we're prioritizing them correctly. The ability to be part of this association, the ability to wear that logo is an honor. And we want everyone to bring that kind of mentality to any event, regardless of skill level, regardless of ability, regardless of your resume. We all play a role in making sure that we execute that. To give a little more structure on this, I did want to talk about how the athlete member structure will work. And there's 3 organizations within that right now. One is the women and men's national teams. These are going to be teams that are hopeful to compete as athletes in the world championships in the future. So that is going to be one bucket of athletes right there. The next one is the adult development teams. This is anybody over the age of 18 that doesn't quite crack the national team spot, might want to play recreationally, or might want to show us what they have in terms of an adult league embark on to try and make it to the national team. And then also we'll have our youth national development teams, which is 18 and down. And again, players from that team can move to the national teams at the top, or they can move to the development teams, but that's our youth program right there. So when you come to Chicago, you will be placed onto one of these teams, into one of these groups, and movement will happen between the groups, depending on evaluations, depending on where we're at, or depending on even on your own desires and how you want to participate in Puerto Rico ice hockey. Keeping in mind that there is a place for anyone that wants to play at any age. Keeping this in mind too, every single event we have, every event, whether that is a competitive event, an evaluation event, or even a get-together, is your chance to showcase our professionalism as an association. The idea that in all aspects, especially when with your teams, that we are a professional and noteworthy association. We want to make sure that when we walk into the IIHF World Championships, that is well known. It's obviously an opportunity to show off your athleticism. What do you do when you aren't playing for us? Are you working out? Are you playing for a team currently? This is your opportunity at our events to show us what you've been doing. We'd obviously like to see competitiveness. Spots are earned. They are never owed. So whether you're on a top team right now or you're not where you want to be, every event is an opportunity to show the coaching staff and the board where you fit in the mix. Next one is communication. I do a lot of team building work. I do a lot of work with businesses and sports teams. 10 out of 10 problems come from poor communication. Your ability to communicate with us, and obviously the association is doing everything we can to communicate with you, is very important. Great questions demand great answers. Your coaching staffs, your development groups, we're here for you. We want to make sure that we're getting you to where you want to be or where you deserve to be based on that. So make sure to communicate. Coachability. I just said it. Great questions demand great answers. All right. It's not an expectation to be on a team. It is earned. Players we have talked to at very high levels have shown the ability to communicate, the ability to want to compete, and the ability to be coached regardless of their past play, because it is an honor to wear that jersey. And finally, obviously, dedication. Dedication to pre-high and the understanding of that dual goal that I talked about of making the world championships and growing the footprint of ice hockey in Puerto Rico. Everyone plays a role in that. And if we're all not working towards that role, if we lack that dedication, we will not succeed. Now, with that said, everything I have seen thus far points to the direction that we're going the right way. There's a lot of dedication from our volunteers, from our members, from our athletes to make this something large and beautiful, which it is absolutely becoming. So thank you all for that. Let's talk a little bit about the event coming up. I know this is where a lot of the questions are for Chicago. Before I even dive into it, I got some cool numbers here. We are expecting 130 athletes or more to participate, which is fantastic. I love that. The numbers are growing all the time. Check this one out. Ages 6 to 65. That is the player population for Chicago coming up, of people that are going to be on the ice. If that does not excite you in the sense of, wow, we have a wide footprint of people coming here of different ages, different skill levels. And again, the skill levels range from pro to beginner. That is this succeeding. That is us growing. That is us making an opportunity for players to come to Chicago, feel like they're part of Pre-Ha because they are part of Pre-Ha, and to make sure that we make the Fiesta de Hockey something special. Now, as you arrive in Chicago, you will be organized into the groups that I spoke about before of the national team, the development team, or the youth development team. Okay, just to begin. And the schedule I'm going to show you, I'm going to tell you right now, is subject to change. This is meant to give you a broad overview of what the week will be like, or I should say the weekend, to give you some ideas of where you may be during that week. A more specific schedule will be out soon, but we wanted to make sure we communicated this with you. So obviously, Thursday, check-in will be at 1 p.m. All groups will have an evening practice ice session. We will have some youth group team building and also some development team building. There will be goalie-specific ice sessions that evening. There's also going to be off-ice testing for our men's national program. Ongoing tours of the Blackhawks locker room. They've allowed us to do that, which I think is special, and we're going to have an association dinner that night. As we move to Friday, we'll be having morning ice sessions for all groups. There'll be buses to Paseo Boricua during the day. In the evening, we're going to have some intra-squad scrimmages. The adult national development team will also have exhibition games against each other. And the men's national select team will be playing Bar Down Hockey Club that evening. Okay. We hope as many of you can be there as possible to cheer them on. There will also be an association dinner again, and there'll be a public skate in the evening. So I hope we can spend some time doing that. You move to Saturday, again, morning and evening ice sessions for all groups, more training and development sessions. We will have youth group team building. Again, I'll be running that. I'm looking forward to seeing all the young athletes. The men's national program will have an intra-squad scrimmage that day, and the adult national development team will have 2 exhibition games that day as of now. Also going to have some story time with the pros for the adult teams. Some former pro athletes are going to come by and talk with us. Again, another association dinner. There'll be another men's national select game that night against the Bar Down Hockey Club. And again, a public skate in the evening for us to spend time together. And then as we move to Sunday, the final day, we're going to have some more morning ice sessions for all groups. The men's national program will have an intra-squad scrimmage, and the national development team will also have exhibition games. We're going to have a nice brunch and Easter egg hunt, and then the weekend will be over before you know it. Again, there's going to be a lot of time to be together. There's going to be a lot of activities to make this a really enjoyable experience, both on, off the ice, and around Chicago. I'm really excited. I'm bringing my son, my daughter, and my wife. For those of you who've been traveling with me the last year, yes, they exist. I can't wait to introduce them to all of you. That's going to be a really fun time. But again, this is the broad overview. Everyone will be placed into one of the groups. Again, national teams, and that's going to include the women coming to play on the national development side and the national teams. And then we're going to have our youth development teams as well. And things will clearly start to play themselves out once we get there. We did put out a questionnaire a little bit ago last week, just to have some questions asked. I did want to answer some of those questions. You will be asked to sign a waiver to participate from the rink upon arrival. And all players will be loaned a jersey and sock to the event, but we are recommending that youth players bring an extra white and red jersey with matching socks if you have them. That's mostly for the pictures, and that's really more for sizing, just to make sure that everybody's comfortable in what they're wearing. But youth players, please bring an extra white and red jersey with matching socks, either white or red or both if you have them. We are also going to have a food package that will be offered to save funds for you and your family. I've been seeing previews of that today. I'm not in a position yet to say what it is, but it is a great price for a lot of food. That's what I'll say. Also, we've gotten questions about what about future events? What if I play for a team or I'm playing in a tournament or I'm playing and those dates interfere with a pre-HA event? And you can see here I wrote pride, compete, and communicate. Number one, first and foremost, if you have a conflict, communicate it to us. Communicate it to your coach, the appropriate coach for your team. Let us know what's going on. If you play for a team and you're in a competition or you're in the playoffs, we do not want to take you away from that situation. And it's obviously understandable in that situation. You are participating and playing the game. That makes sense. In other situations, we're going to ask you to, prioritize, understand where does your pride lie with this, and communicate and compete the best that you can in those situations. I'm going to bring it back to the word communicate again. You can't go wrong by communicating with us. If you're not sure, reach out to a coach and we'll let you know where we think it stands, and you guys can make that decision on your own. But as we said, if we're competing in international competition, if we're in the IIHF World Championships, this is where the pride comes in. It is an honor to compete in those situations. We've also been getting a lot of questions about ice in Puerto Rico. What's going on there? We have a committee in Puerto Rico that are continuing to grow players. They meet weekly. The game is growing there as ice becomes available and as opportunities become available. We will share that with you. It is a constant progress. Excuse me. It is constant progress on the island to continue to go to the game. I know it is a dream for many of us to play a game down there. I fully believe that will happen in the future, but we have to take steps one at a time. So with that said, if you need more information on anything that I went over tonight, make sure to visit our website. The hotel information is there. Rooms have opened up again if you have not booked yet. And we are going to make a questionnaire available to you after this call if you have any more questions. Again, the chat is open with Mike Rosado answering those questions, but the questionnaire will be mailed out to you all soon. This is not going to be a two-way call tonight, just to keep everybody's time in mind and interest here. Okay. And before I leave you, I want to make sure when we do these calls, and I'm hoping to do more of these calls in the near future, albeit quarterly or more often, I want to leave you with a standard of the night, just something to think about as we depart. And the word of the day is grit, the unwavering and accountable drive needed to succeed. If you are on this call, you are showing us some grit right now. All right. And the idea behind this is that it's going to take all of us here today, the members we have not met yet, the future members, the youth athletes that dream of playing on that national team, the current players of the national team that will earn their spots. We all need to demonstrate levels of grit moving forward to help us accomplish those goals that I said at the top, to compete in the world championships with our men's team, our women's teams, and our youth teams that qualify, and to make sure that we're growing the footprint of ice hockey for Puerto Rico. I am insanely dedicated to these goals. It is an absolute honor. I will say this every call and every time you see me, to be part of this association. I take it so seriously, and I know so many of you do as well, but the only way forward, the only way to succeed is together. And the understanding that these goals that your board, that your group, that your coaching staff has put in front of you is the way forward. And I am excited to accomplish these goals with all of you. And I'm excited for all of you that want to accomplish these goals with us, because that's what it's going to take to get us to the next level. And I believe in every single one of us wholeheartedly that we're going to do that. So that is our update for tonight. Again, we will make this video available online after the call. I want to thank you all for being here. Again, I didn't want to take too much of your time. We did that pretty good tonight, right? What time is it? 8:55, get you out in half an hour. Again, if you have any questions, please keep an eye out for that email that's going to have the questionnaire link if it's not already there. And again, the chat will keep open for a few more minutes. But I want to thank you all for being here tonight, for taking the time and for your trust and listening to me. I always say this, I can talk all day. Anybody on here that knows me knows that, but you have to choose to listen. And I appreciate that trust and the time tonight. So thank you all for being here. Hopefully we'll see you in Chicago. Again, keep an eye out for those questions. And thank you for being on here tonight. Have a great one, everybody.